All right, so having finished book 9 and now setting off on book 10 and continuing with Odysseus as our narrator, I'll suggest that for book 10 you suspend any disbelief you might have about whether Odysseus is telling the true story of his adventures or whether he's manipulating his audience. Let's leave that aside for a moment and instead think about what the possibly larger purpose of books 9, 10, and then when you get to them 11 and 12 could be. But as you're working through book 10, I would suggest that you think of these 4 books as in some way being, of course, a story within a story or a play within a play. But see if you can start to attach your mind to some sort of allegory or some sort of didactic or educational purpose that Homer might have for the readers. So let's go back one level and think about the purpose that these 4 stories could have, because it allows a smaller narrative to be contained within the larger narrative. And I think that maybe by reading between the lines, but maybe I'm thinking more of reading above and below the lines, which I guess is in fact between the lines above and below. But what I mean is, there's the superficial story that Odysseus is going to tell, which is interesting and exciting. But is there a larger message? Can we take this as a metaphor for some other aspect of human experience? And so if you're thinking about those metaphors, or maybe even to think if we've been seeing the similes, and there are some beautiful similes in book 10, could all of Odysseus' stories be seen as a simile for some other larger event that either, well, probably that Homer is interested in us thinking about? So I think if you think about it like that, by the end of book 10, when you're halfway through Odysseus' story, you'll at least have a hypothesis about what a larger or deeper meaning to these stories will be, and then we can test that hypothesis when you read books 11 and 12. So that's my suggestion for you now, is to look for that. See if you can determine some options for how we could read books 9 and 10 metaphorically, and then that will help you when you read books 11 and 12.